Could you please state your name?
My name is Devon Foust.
And how are you employed?
I'm an investigator for the Missouri State Highway Patrol.
And do you hold a rank, sir?
I'm a corporal with them.
Corporal, how long have you been with the Missouri State Highway Patrol?
10 years.
And what are your current duties and responsibilities?
I'm an investigator within our Division of Drug and Crime Control, and I'm a bomb technician and general investigator.
And prior to that, back in June of 2017, did you hold those same duties?
Back then I was attached to the Troop F criminal unit. I wasn't a bomb tech then, but I was a general investigator.
And did you become involved in the investigation of Ben Renick's homicide?
I did.
And as a result of that investigation, you were at the crime scene, were you not?
I was.
But later on, you interviewed Ms. Renick on a number of occasions.
I did.
And I want to draw your attention to the June 19th, 2017 interview. Did you have an occasion when you were speaking with her to ask her about her phone?
I did.
And when you did that, why did you want to look at her phone?
It's a typical process. It's common for us to ask and look at a lot of people's phones. She had not been ruled out as a suspect, and I asked if we could do a download of her phone, which comes along with a consent form that she signs prior to the interview, and that was attempted during the interview process. Someone sat outside the interview room and attempted to download that phone.
And were you successful in doing so?
No, we were not. Some phones, it was explained to me, I'm not a person that does that some phones just don't, it doesn't work. The information won't come off the device onto a reader where you can read it.
So did you go to the old-fashioned way of looking at her phone?
I did, manually, which happens a lot too. So I just went through everything kind of quickly because I just stepped out of the interview room with her, left someone in there, and I started going through her phone. So normal stuff, text calls, emails. Yes.
And this has taken place about 11 days, a week and a half after the murder.
11 days, right.
And when you're doing that, are you looking in that general time frame of the murder?
Yes.
And when you do that, do you come across the name in there that you hadn't heard about or jumped out at you as being suspicious in some fashion?
I did.
And what name was that was in the phone?
It was under Mike H, and it was a text conversation that had occurred that day.
And you
the day of the murder, June 8th, sorry.
And you subsequently learned who Mike H was?
I did.
And who is that?
She, when I asked her, I walked back in, I said, "Who's Mike H?" And she said, paraphrasing, he was a client of mine, his mom was a client of mine, and we kind of got back in contact, is what she said at the beginning.
And did she explain to you what his full name was what?
Michael Humphrey.
Okay. And did she explain to you his mom had been a client of hers?
She stated that his mom had she was a client of hers. I don't remember now if it was her or Michael that told me what the deal was with his mom's back.
Do you remember her describing why during this time frame she and Michael had come into contact with each other?
At first she said it was because his mom was a client and that they were going to do some work on her or work on Michael as well, and then it changed after that again.
And what did she tell you a second reason why they were in contact with each other?
The second, so then it came up the car audio story, which I believe we've heard, that they got in contact with him to help her coworker and employee Ashley Shaw get audio equipment put into her vehicle.
Now, ultimately you went back in that interview room, did you not?
I did.
Did you have an idea about a new lead, someone you should speak to?
I did, sure, Michael Humphrey.
And that's based on what you found on his phone?
Correct.
You went and interviewed him, did you not, on July 17th of 2017?
I did.
You had a little bit of trouble finding him, did you not?
I went to his residence a couple times and couldn't get him either. If he was home, couldn't get him to answer. If he wasn't home, he wasn't home. Right.
You ultimately tracked him down and made him report to his probation officer, so you talked to him there.
I did.
And during that conversation, did you look at his phone?
I did.
And did you find something unusual on his phone in reference to another date you had interviewed Lynlee Renick?
I did.
What did you find on his phone that you thought was a little unusual?
It was the same text conversation as before from June 8th, and then there was no contact until, I may get the date a little wrong, I think it was June 19th though, and there was an emoticon text, whatever, thumbs up, from that evening on, I think the 19th. And then I discovered a phone
on
call.
June 19th, he's got a thumbs up emoji.
Correct.
And that's being sent to whom, from whom?
From Lynlee's phone to his phone.
And she had been interviewed and let go earlier that day.
Earlier that day, she'd been at Troop F in Jeff City talking to us, yes.
And that night then, this thumbs up emoji is sent from her to Michael.
Correct.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 105 and ask if you can identify what that is, sir.
This is a picture that I took of his phone while we were sitting in my patrol vehicle outside of the office there. It's a picture I took with my work phone of his phone of that text conversation.
Who's he is? Let's
Sorry, Michael Humphrey.
Michael Humphrey's phone. Okay, that's it. Go ahead.
And so this is a photograph you took of his phone.
It's a photograph of Michael Humphrey's phone, yes.
Your Honor, I would offer State's Exhibit 105 at this time.
Any objection? No, Your Honor. 105 be admitted.
Your Honor, could I go ahead and publish this?
Yeah. Should be able to just put it on there.
Devon, can you see then, or Corporal Foust, can you see there in the middle is this thumbs up emoji?
Yes.
And prior to that, there's some conversation from June 8th that has been texted from Lynlee to Michael also.
Correct.
And I think Nat Schaefer's going to talk about that in a little bit. But after this thumbs up emoji, did Mr. Humphreys respond?
He did.
And what was his response to Lynlee through text messaging?
Michael texted back, LOL, I was thinking about you earlier on my way home, what you up to?
And did she respond to that?
She did. She said, sorry, M, her daughter, was messing around on my phone and accidentally sent that. We are getting ready for bed.
And did he reply back?
He did. He said, got ya.
And was that the end of this basic conversation they had that evening after she had been interviewed by law enforcement?
Yes.
I want to jump ahead to June 13th of 2019. Did you come into contact with our speaker around that time with David Levinson?
Is it the date right on that?
Well, I think that was one of the interviews.
It is. I did speak with Dave Levinson. Might have been the next month.
And you'd spoken to him on a couple of occasions, but on this occasion he was reporting having found something to you down in Plato, Missouri that he thought might be important.
2019, yes.
Did I say 2018?
No, you said it right. I was still thinking back to 2017. Sorry.
Okay. Well, and again, we're jumping ahead a year or two.
Right.
Yeah. So this is a year or two after the murder.
Right.
And he's contacting you having found something he thinks might be important.
Correct.
And what is he relating to you that he found?
He found a spent shell casing while cleaning out the snake racks when they were in the process of moving the snake facility to another location, and he took the racks down, put them back up.
I'm sorry, took the racks down?
Yes, ma'am. And he was going to put them back up, and he found a spent shell casing that we didn't discover at the crime scene.
And did you, as a result of that, ask him to do something and make arrangements to get that shell casing sent up to you?
I did. I sent investigators from a different part of the state that were closer than I was down to pick that up. Highway Patrol investigators.
And so you had other investigators that were down in that area to go get this?
Correct.
And did you make arrangements then to have it brought up to you in some fashion?
I did. I think I asked them to go ahead and do it too, but it got sent back up to the Jeff City evidence.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 55 and see if you can identify what State's Exhibit 55 is.
It's a spent cartridge casing in a Highway Patrol envelope that I put into evidence. There's a box in here with it.
And was that then placed in evidence?
It was.
Your Honor, I'd offer State's Exhibit 55.
Any objection to 55? 55 is admitted.
And now I want to actually ask you to flash forward again to October 29th of 2021, just a few weeks ago. did you have an occasion to speak with Michael Humphrey again?
I did.
And at that time, did he provide you with some additional information that he had not provided before?
He did.
And as part of that, the location of where the gun he said was used in this crime by Lynlee to murder her husband was located at?
Yes.
Where did he tell you that was located at?
It was in his girlfriend's mother's house in the attic crawl space underneath some insulation.
And did you or other officers make arrangements to get permission to go in that house and seize that gun?
I did.
And were you successful in finding the gun where he said it would be?
I was.
I'm going to show you State's Exhibits 107, 108, 109, 110, and 111. If you could take a second and look at those. Tell us if you recognize what those are photographs of.
So there are photographs of the weapon and the location, our discovery of it between Trooper, another investigator, Trooper Schaefer, and myself. He took these pictures while I opened the door and stuck my hand in the insulation and pulled the firearm. The progression.
Like a cartoon as you slowly walk through finding the gun. Photos of that.
Correct.
Your Honor, I'd offer 107 through 111.
Okay, 107 through, well, any objection? 107 through 111 be admitted.
Judge, may I take a moment just to show these to the jury?
Yeah, are you going to do it on your thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're looking at 107. What is that a picture of?
It is the doorway in this loft attic area of the house.
Basically, it's a door to get into that attic area.
Correct.
State's Exhibit 108 shows what?
That is inside that attic crawl space.
And basically, once you just step inside those doors, this is a photograph of that area.
Correct.
And we're going to see the next one, but behind this cooler and boxes in that insulation area is where this gun is going to be uncovered, correct?
Correct.
State's Exhibit 109, what are we looking at there?
That's my leg, and that is the box that contained the firearm after I pushed some insulation to the side.
We see a little bit of a black plastic thing uncovered. That's the box you're referring to.
Correct.
State's Exhibit 110, what is that a photograph of?
That is me beginning to pull that box out.
And State's Exhibit 111, what is that a photograph of?
That is the contents of the box right as we opened it. That's how it looked in there.
Now, the gun is in State's Exhibit 114. That's this box and the contents are what we see in that photograph, correct?
Yes.
Your Honor, I don't have any other questions.
Cross.
Can I approach, Your Honor?
Oh, me? Yeah. You gonna? Okay, here's where do you go? All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break tonight and start up again at 8:30, and you're going to be coming back. And the prosecutor said that's okay with you.
Sounds good, Your Honor.
Okay. So that's what we're going to do. Let me read you this reminder. Again, remind you of what you were told at the first recess of the court until you retire to consider your verdict. You must not discuss this case among yourselves or with others or permit anybody to discuss it in your hearing. You should not form or express any opinion about the case until it's finally given to you to decide. Do not research this case on the internet or by any other means. Don't read, view, or listen to any newspaper, radio, or TV report of the trial. And with that, you can go back and order something cheap, would you? Don't have the filet mignon, all right? Take it easy on it. With that, you can go. I'll see you tomorrow at 8:30, okay? I know that a couple things I wanted to get out there. We're in agreement, even though the case had projectile live rounds in it. If the jury wants it, those live rounds are coming out, and I'll tell them that.
Yeah.
When we get to deliberate. Okay. But they were in there, and that's why you got that photo. Okay. Now, on this other issue, can we take that up tomorrow? I don't even know. Do you want to even proceed with that or not?
Well,
I mean, you were doing it tonight in the interest of brevity, but do you want to even?
Judge, again, I think it is self-serving hearsay.
Understood.
And I think it's well taken.
Now, what? See, he's not acting like he's going to do a whole lot with statements.
Well,
I don't know what that means, but
again, I mean, I don't either, Judge, but the rule is that the defendant's statements are self-serving hearsay.
okay. I tell you what I think we're going to do, and I haven't made up my mind completely, but I think we're going to see what he wants to do when he questions her, and you can make an objection. Okay?
That's fine.
We'll just do it that way, because I don't know what we're even talking about until he starts doing it. Okay? In any event, you think you all now will get wrapped up tomorrow by lunchtime?
Judge, I depending on how long Nat Schaefer takes, like I said, there's a
I know you're estimating.
And depending on the cross, I believe we can wrap up by noon like we originally projected.
Okay. And then we're going to take up your motion and then fire for effect. You got your people ready to go, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Can I get instructions tomorrow morning? Ms. Berger said that you gave your proposed instructions to her. She wants to look at them tonight. Can I get your alls and everybody's tomorrow morning?
And Judge, it'd be real simple for me to send you the same email. Now, that is just...
Now, the problem with an email, and he sent me his exhibit list, if I print something, it prints off on the printer downstairs.
Okay.
I'm not savvy enough to figure out how to change
No, that's fine.
So just give it to me.
I can pull them out. I was going to say the email is just the verdict directors, though, which would be...
That'd actually be another thing. If you could be so kind as to just give me a copy of your
I'll bring
exhibit
you out
list.
our copy.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
But I'll pull them out and have them for you in the morning, Judge.
Okay, just hard copy. I only want dirty ones. I only want dirty. Okay. And what am I forgetting? 8:30 tomorrow. I guess that's it. Okay, we're in recess.